Oh wow, they me.
But again, I think especially
Updates
like
to
you're saying
Monaco,
before,
updates to Bernal,
Monaco.
updates
Yes,
to Kyoto. Yeah.
true. We got Fire Strays versus MGC. Artie, which way you leaning on this one?
Honestly, I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for P. Murph. I got a lot of respect for the Goo crew at Goo University. But I will say that the Fire Strays, they are a signed org. They are in the major. And they do have what it takes to, well, take this up to the next level.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against, the team we're looking on the screen right now. They are, again, they made it to close calls. A good team. Ooh, the drip on the side of MGC goes a little crazy. The Anubis had such a look. But again, Sis Horizon map number 1. Sorry, Fortune. Let's go to Fortune map number 1. Fire Strays versus MGC.
Very excited to see this come to fruition here on Fortune Stadium. Looking like this Vault 1 fight is going to be granting us a little bit of a key into how these meta shifts are changing. We already see P. Murph on the, on the mesh shield. That mesh shield is now gone. The heal beam also not going to be able to come through as well, as both Maximum AI and Smokey Diaz, they're eliminated before I finish my first sentence, Young.
Yep, quick and dirty fight. Looking at the specs, though, no DMAT. Again, things we've seen earlier today in EU. The DMAT nerf down to 2 charges instead of the 3. It's also a shorter time that the DMAT stays up. A couple of things that teams are really experimenting with. Is it going to stick? I don't know, but the heal beam seems to be back, is what we're kind of seeing here. And also mesh for the side of the nerf on MGC. Things again we're kind of figuring out as a scene again. Every time we get a new patch, a new season, always exciting. But let's see if MGC can make the push, Artie.
Yeah, this is always a tough one coming across Hospital. You and I know this fight a little bit too well. And I will say, seeing what they're going to be able to pull off here with the TP is one start of it, but the rest is going to see how they get to use that mesh, how they get to use that heal beam, and if they're going to be able to, put themselves in a situation where both of those pieces of utility will matter. Take a look over at Fire Strays. They're just set up on a very nice little staircase, waiting for the opportunity to arise, but kiting is doing well in their favor. Now, as Murph's Goo crew walk over into the point, they hit the bait, but Young, the engagement is evading them.
Yeah, the drop-in comes out pretty quick. Murph gonna go down. Diaz gets res back up by Maximum. Fire Strays just go and chase them down. I don't think MGC's gonna be able to salvage much out of this. That's one more down. It's just up to Maximum. Fox still in Fire's control, but yeah, just a pretty fight there. Try and get the res off there. They're gonna stall. Not quite. MGC doing the best, but Fire Strays is pretty, again, textbook Fox control. They just played, they played for the drop. I will say MGC just kind of walked into the box. Didn't play a lot of repositions. They just kind of wanted and hope for the best. Sometimes that's all you can do, but I think a little bit more patience may help them in these fights a bit.
Absolutely. One thing I'm also looking for here as well is to see how that heal beam is bringing value to the team. And for MGC, well, they're not really engaging with anybody in particular. That heal beam seems a little bit of an afterthought. The mesh shield also getting burned. Now, seeing the mediums not have that DMAT changes where these fights are occurring. And I think that's what's most interesting for me to watch, is that it seems like Murph's Goo crew, more than anything, they are actually just not aware of where they could take these fights, given the fact that they're so used to, well, being able to demat through a wall or through a floor, and hey, we'll take them from above. And without that option, having to figure out, okay, we have to manually walk to the floor we need to fight them on, and then we need to open the door ourselves to get in there, well, it's just adding a little layer of confusion that didn't used to be there.
Yeah, this could open up a lot of things too. And also, just to address, in case anyone's curious, no, the light dash has not been intentionally fixed. A bit of a bug. If you've seen the light doing more than he should with the evasive dash. But for the potential meta shift, right? Getting rid of DMAT or putting it into a secondary role. Again, nothing confirmed yet. Team's still figuring it out. Yeah, it might be to an RPG, but the winch comes out real quick. Smokey also gets taken out. So does Murph. Manages again to rise the fight. Started this up to Maximum once again. Not gonna have much going in their favor here for MGC. It's a quick wipe. But for the DMAT though, yeah, it might open up stuff for like we don't see the breach charge on light ever. Does this open that up at all? Because people might not be running H plus as much with the nerf. We don't know. People are still running it, but we'll have to find out. RPGs, C4s on the side of heavy, right? There's a lot of other tools that we might be seeing coming out in different ways to open up these floors in the Wall Street.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, especially given the fact that for a lot of these teams, running double heals opens up a world of opportunity to just be over aggressive. And when you look at Murph's Goo Crew running the mesh shield, well, the mesh shield can really be seen as either offensive or kind of defensive, but no matter what, it's going to be a little bit in ruins when you have a glitch grenade that's timed perfectly and then 2 heals on the other team compared to your 1. We start this engagement off there with a nice winch there. Already no player left unhurt from this battle from MGC as they drop down to the bottom floor. Well, Fire Strays, I don't even think they took a single hit point of damage. A well-placed dome, well-placed bit of fire. Young, that was over before it started.
Smokey just face tanking on the light. He just runs in, gets winched. They'll get this box out of there successfully one of these days. Winch plan's a little long. Might need to wait again there, fellas. But yeah, Fire Strays didn't really have to do much. I think just let MGC come in. They got open arms for him right there in the doorway. Brought him in, just kind of wiped them out. But one more push here for MGC. Smokey got to back up. Let the big boys go in first. Let Murph take the brunt of that damage with that mesh. Again, winch does go through mesh, so it's not perfect, but there is one more chance for these guys to get this point.
Oh yeah, so what's gonna happen now as they go in early. RPG will do a little bit. He has away. Winch is gonna miss, but Slothy gonna follow up with some nice SA-12 16 shots, and those don't miss. Taking that heavy 1v1, does not even worry about it. And once again, it looks like Murph's Goo Crew, well, they did their best here. They had a good run up. A little bit less damage than I was expecting the whole round over. See at the end what that final stat is. But Young, as far as positioning and timing goes, Fire Strays look absolutely perfect out here.
Yeah, they were dialed. I think not totally surprising. I mean, again, they're a good team. Any team that fights against these guys is going to be a battle. So I'm not too... Again, it's not a big shocker for the outcome. MGC, the match is not over, though, by any means. Again, this is best of 3 for these rounds, so it's nothing they can't come back from. I think we fixed some of the positions. We fixed some of the engages. I think it was kind of retake simulator a lot for these guys on the side of MGC. And looking at the stats, that's a triple donut for for MGC, which is a little tough.
A half a dozen donuts on the board, but hey, at the very least, it is going to be a only up from here type of situation. And we go ahead and look at the damage output. And I mean, look at Murph. That's more damage than my ranked teammates usually get. So we're starting off at a good place here, I think. And as far as like Fire Strays, this is a team that a lot of players coming into looking at the major, looking at some of the bigger tournaments. They might have doubted Fire Strays. Like, hey, this is a newer esports org. They're not to the same level. I don't recognize that name as much as I recognize Nightmare, or SSG, or Envy. But no, this is a good team that you have to be on the lookout for, especially on Saturday. I think we'll be able to see them play off to their full potential here. But right now, seeing this, I mean, if you're just talking about the basics, positioning, just straight up rotations, where you're moving, where you're placing your players before a fight for an engagement, it's looking pretty pixel perfect.
Yeah, and it's funny because these guys on Fire, they weren't playing together until pretty recently. We had, Varian and basically them all on different teams for the most part. T-Mills notably on fourth party Cashbox with Brutalogic and Apo, then on to Sparrow, which that's a different team now as well. Kept most of the core, but I think T-Mills was a standout performer on that squad. So seeing him move over to play with Varian and Slothy, who were also kind of juggling teams and trying to figure out, hey, where can we find something that sticks? Sometimes that just happens. You find a new team, everyone gels well together. That's what you needed. So again, teams had some doubts like, hey, how competitive can these guys be? And they showed pretty quickly that, well, they can be competitive. But Fire Strays up 1-0 going into map 2. Artie, what do you think MGC needs to swap up a little bit? We saw them on the mesh. We saw some maybe positioning things that need to change. Anything that you think that they need to change going into map 2?
I mean, this is Murph's Goo Crew, right? I don't know why I'm seeing a mesh shield when I should be seeing a goo gun. Exactly. I'm also just not seeing a lot of anything from them outside of trying to take some shots and not really landing where they need to. As far as I'm concerned, the finals is a game that is two parts. The first part is the gunplay. The second part is the gadgets and the environment, and of course, also just the ability to use the sandbox to your best ability. And so that's what they need to lean into here. Get some creative entries in here. We're seeing Slothy pull out the BFR. And this is also like an interesting thing I want to talk about as well when you're talking about T Mills. T Mills has been known in the community as Mr. Pike for the longest time. And now with the Pike not available in this tournament, at least today, it's been very nice to see him adapting and see him perform on the FAMAS and hopefully some other weapons there later today as well.
Yeah, I think at the highest level, too, everyone can aim, I think is the biggest thing. Especially against any top team. These guys got the aim, but it's the gunplay and, like you said, the movement and the creativity that really separates these guys and these teams apart. But again, teams just pausing right now, just waiting to see who's going to go ahead and tap the box. I think Varian is just kind of holding that one down. Might go for the tap here. A bunch of damage onto Smokey. He gets taken very low. One tap from that BFR. 98 damage, by the way, to the body. 149 to the head. So again, we're seeing a lot of winch BFR headshot combos, just immediately one-shotting the light, Sledge 2.0. But we do see Murph getting a little sturdy on him.
Oh yeah, they're shaping up to go one floor above. They swap. Now MGC one floor below. Fire Strays going to be taking a dive in there. And Slothy actually gets deleted. This is the first kill up here for MGC. But that res comes a lot quicker for Fire than it does for MGC on account of the fact that, well, with no fibs, it makes it a lot more difficult. Murph goes down, just down to Smoky Diaz. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to capitalize on the motions. But still, we got 3 picks there for MGC.
Signs of life, Artie. Signs of life. That's what we wanted from these guys. And they're delivering. Again, a much better fight than we saw from them from, I hate to say it, all of last game. Oh, there's that fun new light dash in action, just like that. Again, not intentional, but it will be fixed probably soon. Emmerich pretty good about that. But yeah, I think just they kind of funneled a little too hard into the point there. Not seeing a lot of repositions from either of these teams. I think Fire doesn't really need to in a lot of these spaces, but MGC, they get the picks and they just kind of sit. They just kind of sit in the same spot and hope to get some damage off. And he's sitting there and will immediately take down Smokey. BFR shot's not going to quite connect. The drop comes in. That's Murph going down just back up to Max. And we've seen this one before. Max on half HP. The winch shot will take him down. One more will take down Murph again. And that's another white. MGC down again.
I mean, just perfect plays here. As soon as that engagement started, Varian, he was able to hear those footsteps, call the team where to go, and you didn't see anybody go in too early, didn't see anybody go in too late. As soon as Varian got that opening pick, that's when just the blood was in the water, like hungry sharks. D-Mills and Slothy just at him. I almost heard Varian say, "Ah!" And they just went.
It's like he's in here with us right now.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Great impression. Here comes MGC, though. The Goo crew in action. Varian just sitting. Plays for sound. He's home right now. Good shots from T-Mills, though. He can't just use the bike. He needs some Hamas, too. Takes down Maximum. Varian gets Maximum, sorry. It's now up to Smokey, the single light. Don't know he can do much here. That box, 30 seconds left, just about. If they coin it, they might have one more shot here, but I think Fire might just be holding this one down a little too much for MGC. The res does come out. It's now back up to 2. Slothy does take a shot on Maximum. Now it's Varian does get the final shots. This Maximum down. That's Smokey down. That's another white. Fire holding down box number 1. Box A. Onto box number 2. MGC, again, they're just struggling to get in there. I think Fire's doing a good job of just holding these off angles. They're playing patient. They're playing together. Are they calling, who to shoot? Who knows? But generally with that BFR Titan, you one-shot somebody pretty quick if you coordinate your shots.
Oh, exactly. The way that I've been describing the BFR is that it's a support weapon, right? And now that might sound weird off the bat, just given the fact that this is an actual hand cannon that deletes health bars for fun. But think of it this way. If your team is able to get some damage off, or at the very least, open up a fight with a nice little bit of chunkage from a good FAMAS shot or a good 9-3R, the BFR can finish all of that. Or if you start with the BFR, finish off everything else. Doesn't matter that it doesn't one-shot. Look at this. That's more than enough health bar right there. Now anyone that else turns the corner, boom, now he's gone. That's going to be another pretty solid wipeout here. Slothy taking a lot of damage, but because of that double team up there with Varian on the H+ and T-Mills on the heal beam, you just can't kill through that, Young.
Yeah, it's you know, in the wise words of Phil Swift, that's a lot of damage. Okay, listen, there's a lot, especially the healing now. Even with the H+ getting the nerf, it's still pretty used. And to your point, the return damage too from. Okay, we're seeing a lot of. Oh, Murph, gotta be careful there, buddy. Here comes the chase. Sloth does he have RP? Yeah, let's just wait and see. And Varian does take down Maximum. Man, the split on the side of MGC is starting to cook them a little bit. Either they're not having the angles on each other, they're not, you know, there's probably a couple things they might need to tweak, but I think they're just getting a little too split and not focused on either a single target or doesn't have really a game plan going into these fights. What it seems like. I don't know. Just
that's what I would.
try.
Yeah, that's what I would say is like the difference between their first engagement, which seemed to have worked really well for them, and now this. I think they're second guessing a lot as they make their approach into where they know that Fire is holding. At the very beginning, they kind of knew, hey, we're gonna approach this from here. We're gonna go up, and we're gonna take this fight. It was very concise. Whereas here, and now they're sort of running up, and they're very worried about where Fire is playing. And they're not doing a good job of finding it out. As we can see right here, as Varian opens up with a beautiful shot. Glitch going to take out the dome, the utility. Here we go. Varian coming back over, finish what he started after that res comes through from MGC. Fire is making sure that there's no coming back. Let's get hold on this. Any bit of damage is reduced to nothing. Fire Strays come out on top here. Young, it's a flawless 4-0 for as far as the cash out score is concerned. Beautiful way to start the day.
Yeah, big if you're a Fire Strays fan. God, that light dash is just so goofy. I think just looking at it. Look at that. He just goes as far as he wants. And I know and technically anyone can use it in this event. It's hard to police for any event, right? Telling people, hey, don't use dash without banning it. It's such a core for the light playstyle that it just wouldn't be healthy to ban it. But either way, Fire Strays up 2-0. They will be moving on through the bracket, I believe. Again, not totally unexpected. Anyone that's kind of seen these guys play, there was kind of an expectation that they would make it through at least, if not to top 8, but maybe even further than that against some of these teams. So we saw that come through. Quick 2-0. Bada bing, bada boom. But MGC, the run's not done yet. Lower bracket exists.
Lower bracket exists for sure. And lower bracket is going to be something that they might want to cling to make sure that they're going to be up against teams that also are losing their first match to probably other signed orgs, as we'll find out once we get another look at that bracket once it gets updated. But I mean, hey, look at Variant. 12 elims is kind of nasty, right? I mean,
no deaths.
Yeah, right. So Slothy died twice in that first engagement. T-Mills getting the res with the good old-fashioned defibrillator there, and then that first fight though, where MGC almost came out on top, Varian made the difference.